All right, I want to go over slope point form. So we already talked about y equals mx plus b. That's where this is the slope and this is the y-intercept. Now we need to learn a different way to write the equation. That. So notice m is in the equation. It means the exact same thing. So whatever number is there is the slope. The difference is, in this equation, we don't have the y-intercept. So in situations, they'll give you questions where they give you like a point, and they say the slope is like 5, something like that. We can't use y equals mx plus b. We can, but it's more complicated because we don't have the y-intercept. So that's where we're going to use this. And it's called slope point because we have a slope and we have a point. The way it works is that these two numbers are the points you have. So in this situation, because we had 3 and 4, the equation would actually be written this way. Y minus 4 equals m. Oh, we said the slope was 5, so it would be 5x minus 3. The thing to be careful of, this number with the x is the x value, which comes first, but in the equation it comes last. This y value is the one that goes with the y. Okay? The other thing to be careful of is there should always be a negative symbol. So let's do a different one where we have some negative points and see what happens. So I'm going to write y and x. My slope, let's put 5 again. This is the negative 3, so it's going to go here. And there's a 4 here, which is going to go with my y. There should always be a negative symbol in between. So this is going to be y minus 4. But here we had a double negative, which actually most people would write as a positive. So the way that I usually do it, just to avoid making mistakes or forgetting the double negatives, is I just think whatever these values are, they're the negative version of what they're supposed to be. So if I got a question like this, okay, I say, okay, I know that my slope is 4. That's easy to see. The point that it gives me, this is the x value, and this is the y value. And then I think, okay, positive negatives. This one was positive, so it means it's actually a negative. This one was negative, which means it's actually a positive. Whatever you have to do to remember that is fine, but that's what's happening. So be careful of those negatives. The other main skill that you need to know, well, let's see where this comes from. So the equation we said, it comes from the slope equation. So let's say we use the numbers we had. So negative 3, 4, and the slope is 5. So I'm going to write the slope equation, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So the slope is 5. And the points, these are going to be y1, x1, and y1. So I'm going to say y2 minus 4 over x2 plus 3. Now we want to isolate this, so let's multiply the denominator. So it's going to become x2 plus 3 times 5 equals y2 minus 4. Now, if I rewrote that a little different, instead of saying x2 and y2, I can just say x and y. So x plus 3. I'm going to put the 5 in front, and I'm going to put these on this side. So this equals y minus 4, which is the exact equation we've been dealing with. Okay? So this is just telling you this is where the equation came from and how to get to it. But you just need to memorize it in this form, so what it means. Now the other thing is, you need to be able to switch this between different types. So let's say we had this equation and we wanted to change it to y equals mx plus b, or vice versa. So that means we want y all by itself. So I'm going to move this minus 4. So I'm going to move it to the other side. So this will be y equals 5, x plus 3 plus 4, because it was minus 4 here, so I added 4 to both sides. Now I need to distribute the 5 to everything in the brackets. So it's going to be y equals 5x plus 15 plus 4. And now we can collect these together like terms, 5x plus 19. There we go. So based on this equation we had, I now know the y-intercept is 19, if I actually cared. The slope was the same because obviously it's a line. We also need to be able to switch this to the other form, which is a little weirder, okay? No, you don't really have to switch it that way, but you do need to be able to switch to this form and deal with this. So that's the basics. Just the thing to remember, this number is the slope, these two numbers are the xy values. Just remember that if it's positive, it means negative. If it's negative, it means positive. That's it.